As I was coming through all of this, I soon found out that one of the biggest companies that I was with, Universal Music, it's the second part of the ugly truth. We began to research things to check on my royalties and my statements and things that of that nature, only to find out a lot of my publishing, a lot of my royalties, my mechanicals, they have all pretty much been stolen.
Oh my goodness, listen to this. Can you believe the timing? Just after Angie Stone starts calling out Universal Music Group for allegedly stealing from her for decades, she ends up in a road accident and, get this, she's the only one who dies. An accident with 8 other people and she's the only fatality? This happens right after she publicly vowed to do whatever it took to make sure they paid her for her life's work, for her children, and for her grandchildren. I mean, the coincidence is just, I can't even.
One way or the other, Universal Music, you're going to have to give up my coins. And so what I'm doing now is whatever is necessary to make sure they pay me for the legacy of my life, for my children and my grandchildren. They're going to have to give me my money.
When I tell you that Angie Stone's passing has been straight up suspicious, I mean that with every fiber of my being. In the months leading up to her death, she wasn't just exposing Universal Music Group, she was pulling back the curtain on the entire music industry's shady dealings. For example, Angie revealed how her relationship with D'Angelo led to industry insiders spreading horrible false rumors about her, completely damaging her reputation and career. She also spilled the tea about how Mary J. Blige recorded a song that Angie had written with D'Angelo without her permission. The disrespect is unreal. These revelations paint such a troubling picture of how Angie was treated within the industry, making her untimely death even more suspect. I'm just saying what we're all thinking.
It was told to me that they were single-handedly put in charge of sending out letters everywhere to make people think that I was the cause of him being exposed to alcohol, to everything that could have gone wrong. And we need you to mail this out. And that person knew that it was all fabricated.
I'm telling you, the things Angie Stone was revealing about the music industry might be connected to her untimely death. And isn't it puzzling why Al B. Sure was transcribing text messages between him and Angie from just days before her passing, especially since she shared such personal details with him? Now let's take a moment to honor Angie Stone's remarkable legacy. Her impact on the entertainment world was huge. Born on December 18, 1961, in Columbia, South Carolina, Angie was surrounded by music from day one. Her mother filled their home with song, and her father performed gospel and blues around town. As an only child, Angie looked up to her dad, who deeply influenced her musical journey. In the late 1970s, at just 16 years old, Angie co-founded The Sequence, a pioneering all-female hip-hop group signed to Sugar Hill Records. Their hit, Funk You Up, made them one of the first female groups to chart in rap music. She later joined Vertical Hold, an R&B trio, before launching her incredible solo career. Angie's debut album, Black Diamond, in 1999, reached the top 10 on Billboard's R&B hip-hop chart. She followed up with Mahogany Soul in 2001, featuring the smash hit No More Rain in This Cloud, which topped the Billboard Adult R&B airplay chart for a whopping 10 weeks. Other standout tracks include Wish I Didn't Miss You and Brother. Throughout her career, Angie earned 3 Grammy nominations and won 2 Soul Train Lady of Soul awards. In 2021, she received the Soul Music Icon Award at the Black Music Honors. Beyond music, Angie ventured into acting, appearing in films like The Hot Chick, 2002, and The Fighting Temptations, 2003, alongside Cuba Gooding Jr. Angie Stone's passing has raised so many questions, especially considering her recent revelations about Universal Music Group's alleged misappropriation of her earnings. In a candid video posted on January 2nd, she detailed how during a 2-week recovery from a severe blood infection, she discovered shocking discrepancies in her financial records. She expressed such profound disappointment over what she saw as both negligence and deliberate financial misconduct by UMG. Her connection to Universal Music Group dates back to 1990 when she began her songwriting career with MCA. Following MCA's rebranding to Universal Studios Inc. in 1996, she continued her work as a songwriter and formed the R&B trio Vertical Hold under their umbrella. Despite her long-standing relationship with the company, it wasn't until recently that she became aware of the alleged financial discrepancies. Beyond her musical achievements, Angie ventured into acting, appearing in films like The Hot Chick, 2002, and Ride Along, 2014, starring Ice Cube and Kevin Hart. She also graced the Broadway stage as Big Mama Morton in Chicago and showcased her personal side on reality TV shows like Celebrity Fit Club and R&B Divas Atlanta. Her untimely death occurred on March 1, 2025, following a car accident near Montgomery, Alabama. At 63, she was traveling with her band members in a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter to Atlanta after a performance in Mobile, Alabama, when the vehicle overturned on Interstate 65 and was struck by a semi-trailer truck. She was the only fatality. In the days leading up to her death, Angie had enthusiastically shared plans for an extensive UK tour with shows scheduled for 2025 and even 2026. She expressed such dedication to her music career and excitement for upcoming projects, including extending her tour to France. Her children, Diamond and Michael, have thanked fans for their condolences and have requested privacy during their time of mourning. They are currently planning a funeral and memorial service to honor her legacy. Angie Stone's contributions to music and entertainment have left an indelible mark, and her untimely passing has left fans and colleagues alike in deep sorrow.
A walking testimony that God has carried me all this time, because if you only knew how much money they have taken from me, how much they have stolen from me, money that I'm supposed to be, I should have been able to retire 20 years ago with the money I've made, supposedly. But there are key people that have been driving the ships, and what they've been doing is improperly representing me, improperly stealing from me, taking things in their own hand, changing and switching lanes because they knew I didn't know that part. See, I'm not an attorney. I don't know everything.
And let me tell you about Angie Stone's recent revelations about Universal Music Group. She completely blew the lid off some serious concerns regarding her earnings and how they handled her musical works. She alleged that UMG had misappropriated her royalties and mechanicals, claiming that after over 4 decades in the industry, she was left wondering where her hard-earned money had disappeared to. She further alleged that proper registration procedures for her songs had been neglected, and that several class action suits over her songs were never properly registered by the company she signed them over to. Can you imagine? Determined to rectify these injustices, Angie assembled a legal team to investigate what she believed she was owed, and she warned aspiring artists about the industry's potential pitfalls. Tragically, just weeks after making these allegations, Angie lost her life in that car accident. While it's natural to question the timing of such events, I have to tread carefully here and not jump to conclusions without concrete evidence. The music industry has certainly seen its share of controversies, but attributing causality without clear proof can lead down a dangerous path of speculation. Angie's passing serves as such a heartbreaking reminder of the challenges artists can face in protecting their work and earnings. Her story underscores the importance of vigilance and transparency within the industry and highlights the absolute necessity for artists to be proactive in safeguarding their rights. What went down was that the vehicle Angie was riding in, heading back to Atlanta from Alabama, flipped over and then got struck by a big rig. Everybody else in the van made it out okay, except for Angie. The Alabama Highway Patrol put out a statement saying that the 2021 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter van rolled over on Interstate 65 around 4:25 a.m. on Saturday, March 1st, before being hit by a 2021 Freightliner Cascadia truck driven by a 33-year-old guy from Texas. The driver of the Sprinter van and the 7 other people in it were taken to Baptist Medical Center for medical care, but Angie was declared dead at the scene. Of course, her death left so many people shocked, especially after her recent outburst, and many folks said they wouldn't be surprised if it was all part of some plan. But like I mentioned, this wasn't the only time Angie was putting everything on blast. Back in September of last year, she dropped another video where she spilled a whole lot of tea about the dark side of the music industry. She talked about how her ex, D'Angelo, and Mary J. Blige were used to sabotage her career. Now, her relationship with D'Angelo was already complicated, but Angie went deeper. She said that years after they broke up, someone working for D'Angelo's camp started sending letters to industry folks, lying and accusing her of introducing D'Angelo to drugs and alcohol. The letters even claimed that she was controlling and hard to work with, which ultimately hurt her career. But Angie made it clear that she didn't blame D'Angelo for any of this, believing he had no clue about it. What really got her heated was his business handlers, who did everything in their power to break them up and drag her name through the mud.
So the person let me know, and it's going on record to say that when the time comes, they will step up to the mic and let it be known that was their assignment, to destroy my credibility by way of making me look crazy in a relationship that was innocent and pure and real. As a matter of fact, it was so real and pure, you could tell by the nourishment of the music then was just pleasant, it was real, it was...
Basically, what Angie was saying is that there was this whole elaborate plan in place, carried out over decades, to make sure she lost her standing in the industry. It wasn't until recently that she started uncovering all the shady stuff that went down. So you can understand why people might think her death wasn't just a random tragedy, but something that was set up from the start. When it comes to Mary J. Blige, Angie mentioned that Kurt Woodley, Mary's manager at Uptown Records, had asked her to work with and mentor Mary since he saw a lot of similarities between her and Angie. But according to Angie, Mary J. Blige didn't show any real appreciation for the help she gave her. She never gave her credit for her contributions and even went as far as taking a song that Angie had recorded with D'Angelo without asking for permission.
She don't never have to really acknowledge me, but I was surprised at the end of the day when my song that we talked about the other day, Every Day and Die, was leaked on her project. I really thought she had a lot more respect for me than that. After all, my love and my hard work and perseverance with you was genuine. So that's my secret rendition of...
Once again, Angie was basically saying that Mary J. Blige was being used as a pawn to tear her down. Angie never outright said whether Mary was in on it, but the fact that Mary saw everything going down and didn't do anything makes her look like a backstabber and a snake in Angie's eyes. Angie was also warning other artists to watch out for this kind of shady stuff in the industry. But here's the part that really doesn't add up. Al B sure was out here sharing text messages between him and Angie Stone from just a few days before her death, where she opened up about some really personal stuff. In the text, Angie wrote, "Hey hun, it's Angie Stone reaching out. Please give me a call ASAP. A lot of stuff is happening regarding this transplant situation. I have 2 possible donors, but they're discriminating against blacks now. It's been 5 years." He responded, "Hey there, Queen. Great to hear from you. I'm on the plane and will touch base with you as soon as I touch down." She replied, "Okay, King. I wanted to let you know I have 2 donors, 1 negative and 1 positive family member, and I'm trying to get clearance to get the transplant done because they're discriminating against blacks of a certain age. I'm leery of dealing with the hospital system here, so I'm reaching out to see if there's someone or something you can suggest to help me get this done. It's been 5 years now. I'm well overdue." Angie's message in the text was deep and revealing. She mentioned that her blood work was excellent and that she was just waiting for the next steps. But then she also shared her feelings about Diddy, saying, "I've been praying hard for you ever since all this foolishness you've been saying for years finally has been exposed and he's going down. I didn't realize just how much craziness you had actually gone through, and it's so unfortunate. Know that I'm praying for you and supporting you on everything that you have going on. I pray that your son Quincy and you lock horns again and he walks away from that whole ratchet situation, as the whole world knows he deserves to be with his biological father at this time. I know that Kim is resting in paradise. She was born a couple of days before me, so I know her spirit well." I know how she rolled, and I can assure you she's been the one assisting you from the other side. Be blessed and know that I'm here for you no matter what. Peace and blessings, King. Now, as for Albie Shore posting this private conversation, I'm not sure what his intention was, but all it did was fuel more speculation about Angie's death being planned. The details are still pretty murky, and it leaves people with more questions than answers. As for D'Angelo and Mary J. Blige, if Angie's account is true, it sounds like they were part of a larger plot to sabotage her career. It makes you wonder how deep the industry's games really go, and the fact that Al B sure chose to share such intimate messages just adds to the mystery, leaving a lot of folks questioning his motives and raising even more suspicions about Angie's tragic end.